So coming up next, 12-lap pre-final for our tag drivers. Here's how we'll line them up. Inside row 1, the 04 of Mike Andrews Jr. Outside, Tyler Smith in the number 18. In row 2 in the 33, it'll be Garrett Peterson. Aaron Smith in the number 17 will be starting 4th. 5th, it'll be local driver, Jacksonville driver in the 7X, Jacob Duvall. Matt Blair in the 47 starting 6th. 7th, it'll be the 07 of Carlos Gonzalez. Starting 8th, the 42, that'll be your Rock senior driver of Nolan Kelly. Kevin Mendez in the number 6, starting 9th. 10th, it'll be the 34 of Ricky Brooks. 11th scheduled out, the 86 of Mark Thomas, and Vernon Sparks scheduled out in the 12th spot in the number 228. Again, this will be your tag drivers along with one Rock senior driver. That's the 42 of Nolan Kelly. Again, Jacob Duvall dominating so far this season, well in hand to pick up yet another championship. Spot in the number. Seen Jacob pick up a handful of championships over the years. Comes in this weekend with 4 top 3 finishes, 2 wins, a second-place finish, and a third-place run for Jacob Duvall. Jacob sitting 5th. He'll be in row number 3 on the inside. Been a good season for Matt Blair. Matt sitting 2nd in the point standings, and Matt's like to kick it up a little bit. Finished 7th in Ocala in race weekend number 4. His best finish 4th. Did that in race weekend number 3. We're going to see green. It's up. We're underway. Your tag class. And on rain tires, the rain has kind of let up a little bit. It's been heavy for a few minutes, then it would lighten up, and then it picks up again. But right now, rain has kind of backed off. Field working through turn number 5 for the first time. So underway your tag class. Garrett Peterson in the number 33. Pretty good qualifying effort on dry tires. Again, sits inside row number 2 in that 33. Garrett Peterson in the number 33, making his second start of the season. Raced with us in Ocala in race weekend number 4 at a top 5 finish. Pretty talented driver, Garrett Peterson in at number 33. So Phil working into turn number 1. Now with the accordion effect, they'll tighten them up on the entrance and they'll separate a little bit coming into turn number 2. Right now it's the 04 holding on to that top spot, Mike Andrews Jr. Garrett Peterson has picked up several spots now. He is in the 2nd position. Kind of backpedal a little bit, but right now Garrett Peterson sitting 2nd as they work their way into the Monza turn. So far, everybody's sticking together as they come off that Monza turn. They'll head down that long straightaway. Rain is pretty well stopped right now. There are some areas withstanding water. But right now, not affecting these drivers. They'll head down into turn number 1. Jacob Duvall continued to climb the ladder. Jacob being scored 3rd in the 7X. So he's picked up 2 positions. So Jacob Duvall, your points leader on the move. Comes across the line, sitting in that 3rd spot. Running 4th, that'll be the 18 of Tyler Smith. Brother Aaron running in the 5th spot in the number 17. Rock senior driver Nolan Kelly sitting 6th overall as they work their way around. So again, 2 laps complete, 12 laps. Working on our 3rd pre-final of the day. We'll see Mini Rock. They'll be up next. But right now they're chasing down to 04 Mike Andrews Jr. Again, qualified earlier with a 34.375 on dry tires. And right now he's up front on wets. He'll cross the line for the 3rd time. He turns a 40.0548. So again, Mike Andrews continued to pick up the pace. So Andrews your leader, Peterson running 2nd, Jacob Duvall 3rd, Tyler Smith, Aaron Smith 4th, 5th. Matt Blair holding on into the 8th spot. So Matt Blair's actually dropped back 2 spots. Matt qualified in the 6th position, now being scored 8th for Matt Blair. And again, I said Matt coming in this weekend 2nd in the point standings.
Scoring to Miss Betty.
So here comes your leader, Mike Andrews Jr. He'll head to the line. 4 laps complete for Mike Andrews Jr. Jacob Duvall just turned a quick lap, 39.909 for Jacob Duvall. Jacob right now sitting about 0.7 of a second behind your leader. So heavy clouds have kind of lifted, a little bit of lightness now coming up over the track. So your leader's coming off that Monza turn, high bank turn to work down the straightaway. Right now, Mike Andrews Jr. has been pretty much just cruising along solo.
But look who's coming. Jacob.
Oh, Jake the Ball keeping his heels right on the tail end of the 33 of Peterson. Looked like he was going to go to the inside. Peterson shuts the door on him on the entry to turn number 6. So Jacob trying to make some noise again. Jacob qualified 5th. Right now being scored in the 3rd spot. Again, he turned a quick lap in lap number 4 with a 39.909. So obviously local drivers got a lot of laps here in Jacksonville. Still sitting back in that 3rd spot, unable to reel in Peterson. Garrett Peterson, again, another local driver right there running 2nd and 3rd. Now Jacob going to go side by side. Off of turn number 3, Jacob going to be denied. And now Jacob looks to the inside and still not going to have enough. Again, these two drivers very familiar with each other. So both local drivers from the Jacksonville area. Peterson in the 33, Jacob in the 7X. And they continue to do battle for that 2nd position. Jacob trying to find that spot, the right area to get around your 2nd place running Garrett Peterson. Now Jacob's got the momentum, and he's got the pass. And he'll slide up into that 2nd spot, literally going into turn number 1. And he'll slide into 2nd. So Jacob Duvall on the move now as he'll go after the 0-4. Mike Andrews Jr., that card looking very familiar here. One-time driver. Corey Tolles behind that wheel at one time. And been a very good ride for Corey now. Mike Andrews Jr. in the 0-4. Jacob Duvall continuing to knock on that door. Picks up the pace again, 39.642. Showing why he's a top man in that point standings. Got around Peterson a lap and a half ago. Now he goes to work on your leader, Mike Andrews Jr. Jacob about a bumper full now between him and your leader as he closes in as they come into turn number 5. And Jacob keeps the heat on your leader. They'll work through the sweeper turn. So Jacob continuing to quietly chip his way to that top spot. And going back on dry tires earlier this morning, Jacob qualified in the 5th position. Didn't waste too much time. Quickly got up into the 3rd spot. Took him a couple laps to work around Peterson. Now he's got your leader right there as they come down the front stretch. Very crafty driver. A lot of laps here in Jacksonville. Said local driver Jacob Duvall. He'll keep the heat on your leader. Now looking to the inside. He's had some success. That's how he got around Peterson. Going right to the inside off the exit of turn 2. Now he's got the room. As he heads down into the sweeper, going to be shut down again. So Jacob trying to get to the inside as your leader. Mike Andrews Jr. holding him off. Mike making his 3rd start of the season. Had a best finish of 5th in race weekend number 2. That was in the Orlando complex out there. And again, right now he's holding on to the lead. Next time by, it'll be 2 to go for your race leader, making his 3rd start, Mike Andrews Jr. Again, Jacob really liking that inside lane as he comes off turn number 2. Then he tries to build up the momentum going into turn number 4. Still, Mike Andrews Jr. keeping him behind him. So final 2 circuits to go. Jacob Duvall, points leader, 2-time winner this season. And they'll work their way through the sweeper now, heading into the Monza turn. We'll see if Jacob will get on the attack mode now. As they exit off the Monza turn. Jacob trying to get that momentum midway down the straightaway. Jacob still in behind your leader on the entry to turn number 1. About 2 kart lengths now. Jacob going to tighten it up. Gets a good run off of turn number 1. Again, there he is right to that inside. Liking that inside. Coming off turn number 2. Still not enough to get your leader. He'll stay in behind Mike as they come into that sweeper turn. So Jacob trying to get to the inside. Looks like he may have got him. Still in behind him. So Jacob takes a shot at him. Still behind your leader. They'll come to the Monza turn. Off the Monza turn they come. Again, Jacob behind your leader. Still behind him midway down the straightaway. Jacob not getting enough. He's kind of jumping up and down in that car. Did not get what he wanted out of it. Now looks to the inside. They'll come off of turn number 2. Mike Andrews Jr. will score the win. He goes wire to wire. Jacob coming home 2nd. 3rd, it'll be Garrett Peterson. 4th, it'll be the 18. Tyler Smith. Aaron Smith will pick up the 5th spot. And your one and only Rock Senior driver, Nolan Kelly, will cross the line overall 6. So Nolan Kelly, your Rock Senior winner.